Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Leese. This episode is powered by Pondex. Pondex are unique interview questions and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out Pondex.com and use the code Larry21 for 10% off your first order. Our first main topic, Dune box office breaks Warner Brothers HBO Max record. It's a good sign for part 2. The spice must flow, and for the most devoted cinephiles in North America, it tasted like popcorn and concessions over the weekend. With Dune finally in theaters in the US, as well as UK, China, several other significant markets, the science fiction epic commences its greatest battle against being released simultaneously on HBO Max. And as of right now, it's doing relatively well, with a weekend take of nearly 40.1 million over the weekend. The number comes from Warner Brothers, which makes Dune the first WB HBO Max box office, first HBO Max hybrid release to open North America, to open north of 31.6 million, at the box office. It's a record that was set in March by Godzilla vs. Kong, during a period when many theaters were still closed, and social distancing was more strictly enforced. It also beat out studio projections. With that said, it's admittedly not the type of debut one usually associates with a pop culture phenomenon. Nonetheless, Warner executives are likely breathing a sigh of relief, as Dune is performing above the studio's 30 to 35 million projections and is doing probably as well as can be expected given the circumstances of its day and date release strategy. Hence one of the many reasons for the Dune's director's notorious frustration with the film's rollout. As indicated by the small record it broke, hybrid release models have been revealed in 2021 to generally put a cap on the earning power of a film, particularly after the opening weekend, not only because of audiences who opt to watch the film at home with a subscription service like HBO Max or Disney Plus, since they're already paying for it, but also because of the other audiences who'd rather not pay at all and have easy access to HD pirated copies on torrent sites around the world. Last week, Halloween Kills shocked the industry when it earned $49.4 million in its opening weekend, despite also being available on Peacock. However, that overperformance speaks as much to Peacock's small paid subscription audience as it does to the film's ability to break free from the limitations of a day and date strategy. Or another way to put that is NBC Universal put Halloween Kills behind a paywall in order to emulate the WB HBO Max model, which since Christmas of last year has conditioned its subscribers to expect expensive Hollywood content like Wonder Woman 84, Godzilla vs. Kong, the Suicide Squad for no additional cost. More comparable to Warner Brothers HBO Max is Disney's Premier Access strategy. While that is more cost prohibitive since it adds on a luxurious $30 surcharge on top of Disney Plus subscriptions to access new theatrical releases, it's still on a platform with a wide distribution, wider in fact than HBO Max. Nevertheless, with the exception of Marvel Studios' Black Widow, no Disney Plus Premier Access hybrid release has done better than $35 million in its opening weekend, a feat achieved once by Jungle Cruise in July. So by the non-Marvel superhero metric, Dune is performing at the extremely high end of day and date blockbuster releases. While that is hardly the type of news to be jumping for joy about, it is encouraging since Dune, being put on HBO Max, changed the goalposts of what is successful. Essentially, Dune was transformed overnight into a loss leader in the hopes of buttressing Warner Media's pricey new streaming service. As long as it performed well in views on the service and well enough in theaters, it could still be labeled a success, or at least successful enough for the studio to greenlight a sequel. So Dune's record may not be amazing, especially in light of the eye-popping pandemic numbers posted this fall by Shang-Chi, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and even No Time to Die, to a lesser extent. However, it could possibly be good enough for the studio to feel ready to roll the dice and get at least Dune Part 2 made. If that did happen, though, one suspects the director might get in his contract an exclusive theatrical release. It's just a hunch. And now on to our second topic. Hayden Christensen is back in Star Wars. Again. Hayden Christensen is once again returning to a galaxy far, far away. The actor who portrayed Star Wars character Anakin Skywalker in 2002's Attack of the Clones, and later became Darth Vader in 2005's Revenge of the Sith, is now set to appear in Ahsoka, the upcoming live-action Disney Plus streaming series centered on fan-favorite character Ahsoka Tano. Wait, isn't Darth Vader dead? The Hollywood Reporter broke the news about Christensen's appearance in Ahsoka, which would see the actor reunite with his Shattered Glass co-star Rosario Dawson. Dawson plays the title character in the upcoming series and made her debut as a live-action version of the Jedi Warrior in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. But given that Ahsoka, like The Mandalorian, is set several years after Return of the Jedi, there's a big question. How in the heck does Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader show up when he's dead by that point? Remember, Vader sacrificed himself in order to kill Palpatine and save Luke Skywalker at the end of Return of the Jedi? And let's all just pretend that Palpatine stayed dead instead of coming back as a weird zombie in The Rise of the Skywalker. Shall we? When Ahsoka was first introduced in 2008's animated Star Wars The Clone Wars, she served as Anakin's Padawan, essentially a trainee in the ways of the Jedi. Details about his role in this live-action show are being kept close to the vest. But The Hollywood Reporter speculates that we may see flashbacks to the time Anakin spent training his apprentice. Then again, Dave Filoni could also go the more obvious route here and simply make him a Force ghost who could occasionally interact with Ahsoka. In December 2020, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy announced that Christensen had been added to the cast of Obi-Wan, the Disney Plus streaming series that will feature the return of Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. The show takes place 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and Kennedy specifically said Christensen will return in the role of Darth Vader, where fans will see the rematch of the century between Vader and Kenobi. Interestingly, though, the terminology regarding Christensen's appearance on Ahsoka is more vague. Will it be Darth Vader or Anakin? I'm hoping it's Anakin so we can see what Christensen can bring to both of those identities all of these years after his work on the prequel trilogy. Obi-Wan is set to premiere sometime in 2022. Meanwhile, Ahsoka doesn't have a specific release date yet. And now, our final topic is Batgirl. Our final topic, Brendan Fraser will reportedly be the villain in the new Batgirl movie. The Mummy and Doom Patrol star may return to the DC universe. Brendan Fraser will reportedly star in Warner Bros. And DC's upcoming Batgirl film as the villain Firefly, according to Deadline. The Mummy and Doom Patrol star will join Leslie Grace, playing Barbara Gordon / Batgirl. Deadline sources say that they haven't confirmed the information, but believe Fraser will play the DC villain Firefly, one of DC's longest-running villains who was reimagined in the 80s as a special effects artist turned pyromaniac, wielding a flamethrower, various bombs, and a fireproof suit with a jetpack. Firefly has since served as one of Batman's recurring villains, with other characters taking the name throughout the years, including a Lady Firefly in 2018's Gotham TV series. It's currently unknown how much of Batgirl will adhere to the comics and Firefly's origin story. Batgirl will debut on HBO Max, making it one of DC's first big IPs to launch on the streaming service. Fraser's resurgence as a star actor is thanks in part to DC's Doom Patrol, where Fraser plays a former NASCAR driver whose brain is transplanted into a robotic body following a horrific racing event. Fraser's role has proven to be a fan favorite of the year over the course of its 3 seasons, with Fraser being able to mine a wonderful amount of depth and pathos out of a character who spends most of his time trapped behind an almost expressionless metal shell, calling him the heart and soul of the series. Fraser is also set to star in The Whale, a psychological drama following a 600-pound man attempting to reconnect with his estranged daughter. Fraser's seemingly abrupt exit from the high-profile acting world has been attributed to different incidents. Surgery stemming from injuries suffered on set of his various action films, as well as Fraser telling GQ that Philip Burke, former president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, sexually assaulted him at an event in 2003. He's also scheduled to appear in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon with DiCaprio and De Niro. And for now, that is all we know about his potential appearance in Batgirl. As always, let us know what you thought about the topics we covered in the comment section below. And now, on to our favorite segment we do to close out the show, the Pondex segment. Each episode, I should say, we pull out a card from the virtual Pondex film night deck. And this week, it is... Gotta wait for it to load. Today's question is... Which movie did you watch on repeat as a little kid? I'm gonna say Page Master and... Oh, what was that one movie? God, there's one movie I can't think of. Page Master and The Hunt for Red October. Let me know in the comment section below which movie did you watch on repeat as a little kid. And as always, please hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.